So dirty. Okay, wait. No, that literally made no difference. Maybe it's the lighting. Okay. I literally got one moment. Sorry, my chair's squeaky. But I literally had one moment. I was like, let me quickly see if I can film a morning analysis. So, that's what we're doing. So, I didn't realize that yesterday was a bank holiday. I'm in Australia. I don't celebrate Thanksgiving. I don't even know what it is. I know what it is, but I don't celebrate it because it's not the standard. But I didn't realize that it was a bank holiday, so price didn't move. Didn't hit any of my alerts yesterday, so yeah, I don't know what to really do with that. But let's do a morning analysis quickly on what price action is doing now because it has had some movements. It's pushed up a lot. Yeah. Okay, so on Ethereum, we can see that price had pushed up a lot from this point, broke out of this range, retraced. I can't remember. I don't think I caught a continuation off of here. But since today, it's pushed up a lot. So I potentially really should have taken a continuation based off of this breaker structure here, but I didn't. I was working, I was busy, I was doing a lot. It's been busy today, so I don't want to try and trade while I'm busy because then I'm not putting the right thought process. Some people could call me lazy, some people might call me smart. Depends how you perceive trading and decision making and how experienced you are. But for me, I want to know what's going on. So I didn't take that. But what I'm looking at now is potentially we could take a continuation, like an ICC setup from here. Or we could take one from here. The reason why I say from here is because price pushed up and it hit this point and then it sold off. It pushed up here, but then it got below here. You can see it tried to push back up and then it sold off. And then again, sold off. So I can expect that when price comes back below here and breaks back above here, it's going to buy back up to this level. Potentially that's a setup that I could take, but it really just depends on what price action does. If not, I'll be looking at taking a continuation all the way above here. So this is where I'm going to set an alert. And I move this alert over here. That's Ethereum. I'm just forward testing and playing around with Ethereum. Nasdaq, absolutely, this is the same thing. Nothing has changed. I'm just waiting for an indication and a correction. Doesn't look like price is going to do that. So I'm going to take whatever it gives me. If it breaks up here, it's going to be a new indication, which is totally fine. We can we can wait for that new indication setup. But if it decides to sell off, I'll be looking to take buys above this level. And then for gold, gosh, I'm getting through this really quick. For gold, it's looking really good to take a buy above this level, to be honest. It's actually looking real good. But I don't like these massive wicks to the downside. That's the only thing. Let's have a look on the 15-minute. Just massive wicks. The volatility is a little bit crazy, so I'm not 100% sure. If I'm being honest, I'll have to see what price does in New York Open. But again, I do have a really busy day today, so I'm probably not going to trade because price action is looking really volatile and I want to make sure that I'm actually locked in on the charts if I'm going to be trading in these conditions. I need to be able to read the wicks in each moment. Typically, if price is moving like this, I'm cool. That's okay. I don't need to be, I'm obviously locked in. I obviously know what's going on. That's why I do my morning analysis videos. But when I get an alert, I'm able to quickly look at price action and go, yep, okay, X, Y, and Z is met. Everything looks good. Price action is smooth and I feel confident and I will get in like that. Which is why I didn't calculate my loss size calculator properly because I wasn't locked in. I was like, oh, cool. This is a perfect setup. This is A+. Nothing's wrong with it except from London session, and I am skeptical about London session, but everything was perfect about it, so I got in, and then it did hit TP, but obviously I did the loss calculator wrong. Hold on, guys, 1 second. I did not manage to film a morning analysis yesterday. I tried. What you just watched was me trying to film a full morning analysis, but I couldn't. So let's just do a little trade recap to add on to that morning analysis video because literally it was 4 minutes long, 3 minutes. So yeah, I didn't even get to do my journaling side of things, but I was kind of checking on the charts throughout the day. So I kind of had a gauge on what was going on, and I do that normally anyway, just to see what's happening. So I'll show you guys what I had on the charts. I didn't take any trades because I just feel like when I've got too much going on, it's not smart to be trying to get entries at the same time because then I can't actually think about what's going on. So I decided to just stay off the charts, just put my positions on that I thought I wanted to take and the ones that I was interested in taking. And yeah, you could say this morning I was a little bit frustrated when I woke up at myself because look at what was saying on the charts. Look at this. Like, it is literally like just straight to my TP as soon as price got above that area. But it's fine. Like, there's no point in chasing price. And I mean, like, as much as I want to be able to trade every single day, sometimes it's smart not to force it, because if I have half of my energy towards the charts and half my energy towards something else, it makes it not manageable. And I know some people, they'll trade while they're at work, or they'll trade while, I don't even know. Like, a lot of people, I guess, yeah, mainly what I heard is like a lot of people trade while they're at work, but I just feel like I'd rather know what's going on. Like, I don't want to just be like, cool, price is above that level, let me just buy, without actually understanding what's going on. But anyway, let me just show you what I did, what I had marked out. I'm not sure how far into price action I got in my morning analysis, but let's just look at what ended up playing out on that Friday. So obviously gold went bullish, which is amazing because that's been my bias for a while. It looked like gold had been hitting this level of resistance here, and then it shot through there, retraced perfectly, which is amazing. Price got back above that level. So let's scale into the lower time frames to see if my ideal right there. Perfect. So we actually had a breaker structure right here, which is amazing. And then you can even see, if I wanted to be extra, extra, extra cautious, I could have entered here, because then we got this little area of consolidation, and then New York open, and boom, breaker structure. So usually I like to wait for a 5-minute candle close. So yeah, we did get a 5-minute candle close there. Or, I mean, when we broke structure here, we could have, I guess, entered up here if we wanted to be crazy. And then could have had the stop loss below this area here. But again, what I had marked out originally was this area right here. So that's amazing. So hopefully towards, this would have been my target as well. This would have been the target. And then usually I like to use a 5 or a 15-minute lower, high, low. Yeah, high, low if it's bullish. So stop loss would have been around about here. I like to use 15-minute over 5-minute just because obviously higher time frames hold more power. So that's the entrance that I've been looking at. Yeah. It's fine. It's fine. But that's what I was kind of looking at. It's good that, like, I get this chance now to kind of come on the charts and be like, okay, what happened? What can I learn? Let me just kind of build more trust with my analysis, my strategy. And because I did have that marked out before the session had started, it makes me feel extra confidence in my analysis and in my points of interest of where I want to actually get in. So we'll look at NASDAQ. I don't think NASDAQ really did much. It gapped up on London, which is a little bit crazy. But then obviously it retraced here, and we could have taken buys up here. But I mean, I guess the gap kind of threw me off because I was waiting to be alerted of the indication, which I don't actually think I got alerted until this retracement happened. And yeah, it just looked really choppy. Like, even waiting for a breaker structure here, like, I wouldn't have been able to get it until price was like here. And then obviously if you look at that, like, that RR would be really low. So that's not something I would have taken. And then Ethereum we did get an entry on. It obviously looks like it hit stop loss, but that's not where I would have entered. I was looking to see price making new indication here, because I saw that we had an indication earlier on in the session, and I wanted to enter above this level once price. So I saw this indication, and then I wanted to enter when price got above this level. So I wanted to enter from once price got below here, once it got above. So we'd be looking at this record structure right here, and then taking that to TP level, and then yeah, stop loss. That's pretty much perfect spot for a stop loss. But yeah, it's good to know that, like, it's good to know that gold and Ethereum can both give me a setup in one day, because both of these are really good setups. The only part that I don't like about this setup is that price has already kind of made an indication here, but you could technically also call it like a zone to zone, because once price got above here, it just bought up, and then again once price got above here, it just bought up again. So at least we know that in between this level and this level, price typically goes from this level. Oh wait, wrong thing. Where's the arrow? It typically goes from here to here. So that's those zone to zone entries, which I've been back testing. This like, what's it called, spreadsheet here is back testing 10% risk. and you can see like the percentage gain over the month, which is just absolutely insane. Like, absolutely wild percentage gain. And this is only trading gold as well. Actually, just crazy. Crazy. But yeah, so let's journal today. Even though I couldn't do my full routine, at least I'm doing something. I feel like that's what matters the most. So let's go. I don't think I did a trade recap for Thursday. So maybe we'll go over that as well, because I just feel like I'm better off doing something than just nothing. Like, I didn't get to do my morning analysis, but I'm gonna do the trade recap because I could I could be like, oh well, I didn't get to do this, this, and this, so I didn't journal my morning analysis. Therefore, I just won't journal anything at all, because then it would just be stupid. It's like I'm throwing away the entire day, and at least I've gone back and looked, even though I couldn't sit down and trade, or I couldn't do my full morning analysis or do a full, I don't even know, journal and my whole routine. Like, it's okay if I, like, even if I just get 50% done, because obviously no one's perfect. I try to be as consistent as possible, but no one's perfect, and no one's going to be able to do absolutely everything all 100% of the time. Like, you can definitely try it, but I mean, what happens if you go to hospital? Like, what am I going to do? Whip out my laptop while I'm like unconscious or something? Like, no. But when I get home from the hospital, I can, like, do you know what I mean? Anyway, so gold, we saw a bullish ICC setup. Reason that I wanted to enter was we got a break structure. We'll go back. I'm not journaling Ethereum because I'm still playing around with that. But what we saw on gold, what do we see? I'm gonna move the entry to where I would have entered, because I wouldn't have entered just as price got above there. I would have entered here. So candle close above the area, break a structure, that's where I would have entered. And then stop loss would have been below the 15-minute. But because it's above that area, or that zone, I would have had it here. So we could say the reason for entry would be a break a structure, continuation setup, but sat out because I wasn't present on the charts. And then it would have been a win if I did obviously take the trade. And then it would have been a 1 to 4. I'm putting in like what it would have been, because I'm going to add a screenshot at the bottom, because when I go back and I want to look at like the potential setups that I could have taken, at least I can kind of grow a more realistic expectation of what I should expect. Like, oh, this was a perfect 1 to 4 instead of being like, oh well, here's my setup, let me target a 1 to 4 for no reason at all. Do you know what I mean? And then also I can like go back in time and have a look and see what I could have potentially captured. And let's have a look and see if there's any what's it called? Like any other levels that I could have targeted. So potentially I could have targeted this level here, because this one was hit. And that would have been a 1 to 3. Obviously prices continued upwards, but I could have safely exited there at the next level of sellers. Okay, and then NASDAQ. There's a bullish ICC, but price gapped up. I'm not really sure about the gap, like when there's gaps in NASDAQ, because there's not really gaps in gold, I'm not gonna lie. So I don't really know what that means in terms of price action, because I know that like when price gaps up, price typically retraces there. But then like, I don't know, should I really be considering that an indication? But it did play out, so I don't know. It was a win. But it wasn't taken. I'm gonna not, because I didn't have a position on there. Emotions, preoccupied. I did go into the day being like, I'm probably not going to take a trade, so I did follow my plan, because I was like, I'm going to be too busy to take a trade. And then mistakes noticed. Even though my trades did play out, I wouldn't say not being on the charts was a mistake. I wouldn't say like not taking the trades was a mistake, because if those were losses and I wasn't paying attention, like, do you know what I mean? Like, I can't just be like, oh, it was a mistake that I wasn't on the charts when I had other things to do. Like, do you know what I mean? So I don't really know what I'd say my mistakes. So maybe just not doing my morning analysis. I think my discipline was like a 9. Because my alerts did go off, but I was too busy making dinner for my boyfriend to be on the charts. And I was too stressed doing that when my alerts went off. So I would say my discipline rating's a 9, because I could have, like, obviously I got the notification on my phone. I could have gone on my phone and been like, oh, like, look, that's my setup, and then like put my phone down and then go like check something else, and then be like, oh, okay, look, it's at my level, buy immediately, without actually analyzing what's going on. Do you know what I mean? Anyway, key takeaways. This can reinforce my analysis, my trust in my analysis, because the things that I analyzed hit. So I guess I can kind of take that as like a mental win, to like mentally trust myself more. What I'll do better tomorrow. I think I want to study more ICC, because I still haven't had enough time to sit down and like not like take notes on the setup that Trace by Sai took, because I listened to the psychology part of his video, but I haven't done the chart part of the video, because I just paused the video once it got to that point, because I can listen to it and absorb nothing. I need to be like actually watching it to see why he caught his entries, because then I'll be like, yes, I watched the video, like I've done it, but then like if I actually didn't take notes and pay attention to it, then what is the point? Do you know what I mean? But pop that screenshot in there. I'm actually like really happy. Gold price action is looking so much better than it has been. Before it was just so crap, but it just goes to show like when price action is clean, it is clean, and that was a perfect setup. And that's like what, 3 setups this week, I think, and that is actually insane. Obviously I'm sad that like I couldn't catch those setups, and like obviously I caught one of them with my amazing lot size calculations, but yeah, that's a little bit upsetting, but it's fine. Let's have a look at Thursday though, because I'm gonna write in my notes on Thursday. Obviously I can't really write in like my emotions, because to be honest, like I cannot remember them, but I can go over what we had. So so we're looking for buys on NASDAQ, and we're looking for buys on gold. So let's have a look at what happened. Okay, so this was Thursday. I think it was Thanksgiving. So literally nothing happened. Price just kind of went down, but then it just broke out at the end of the session, which is interesting. No, because it literally, what is this? It's like a wedge or something? I need to like study more on the actual chart patterns, because I've seen people say that like if price is going on like where's my arrows? I've seen people say that if price is going on an uptrend and it goes and it moves like this, then it's gonna like break into, I mean, it would make sense if there's like a higher low, but I've seen people say that even if it's a lower low. Do you know what I mean? And I think that's really confusing because that's not, but I mean, that's what happened. So it didn't move. And then we'll look on gold. It had some movement in Asia, but it kind of just went, like, it closed straight back where it opened. Let's look at the daily time frame. Okay, yeah, it just kind of went down. But then what we could see is there was a lot of movement the next day. So I think that's where my analysis is going to be. So set up, observe, none. It was Thanksgiving, so bank holiday. And I'm just going to copy and paste that because there's not really much I can take away from that. Because I don't want to just like be guessing, to be honest. Well, I'd actually give myself a discipline rating of like a 9 because, well, 8 because I didn't do my trade recap, but I'm gonna give myself an 8 because I didn't know it was a bank holiday. I just was stupid and I didn't realize. I didn't see it on my Forex Factory, but I didn't know it was a bank holiday. And I just saw price not moving, so I didn't try force anything. And key takeaways: when it's a bank holiday, don't trade, but expect high volatility the next day, because I feel like that's kind of what Friday was. It was just there was a lot of movements and the movements were very big. And then I mean, I guess we'll do chart markups. I feel like I should do like maybe that's what I'll start doing because I feel like that's better to analyze. I'm not gonna lie to you. Because then you can actually see like the whole. No, not really. Not really actually. At least you can't see everything that's happening. But I'm just gonna zoom in for this one day. So we can actually see like the price action for the I just did the wrong thing. You can actually see the price action for the day. Okay. Okay, yeah, I'm happy with that. Yeah, cool. So that is my trade recap slash I don't know, catch up for what I've missed for the week. And yeah, I'm pretty happy that I did it. Take this as your sign. If you miss a day of something, instead of just throwing away that entire day, just go back and have a look. Because I feel like obviously consistency is great, but just go back and do it. Like it's okay. It's okay if you don't do it the same day. Obviously it's not ideal, but it's about like taking away and reflecting. And I don't know, I know some people do their journaling like at the end of the week, but I find it better day to day. But just because I miss a day doesn't mean I can't do it later on in the week. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope you had an amazing trading day yesterday and all week. And yeah, bye.